Rolex just won a huge court battle against a company that modifies Rolexes. That's probably not a big deal for us, but it does say some interesting things about normal everyday watches and our attitudes. Hi, welcome back to Not So Obvious Watches. I'm Pete McConville. You might remember a year or so ago, Rolex started action against a US-based company, La Californienne, sorry if I got that wrong, who basically they buy in Rolexes and Cartiers and I think some other watches, modify them and resell them. Rolex didn't like that. Rolex felt that it degraded the value of their trademark, that someone was using a trademark that wasn't theirs to use, that by buying a Rolex, changing its colors, changing its style, adding more diamonds, then reselling it, sometimes even, now always with the Rolex trademark still on it, a third-party company was profiting off Rolex's trademark, profiting off Rolex's hard work, and was reusing Rolex's IP without any permission. Unsurprised, Rolex won. I'm not a big fan of a lot of IP law, but I am a big fan of trademark law. I am quite comfortable with the idea that you really shouldn't be able to go stealing other people's trademarks and using them willy-nilly, which is largely what, let's be honest, La Californienne was doing. So I'm not particularly upset about this, nor am I particularly surprised. Possibly that's because this judgment actually confirms a thought I've had, which I know is very different to many of you have, about a different topic altogether. And that is the relabeling of third-party movements that organizations have modified. Because you see, there is zero difference, none, nil, nada, nix, between buying a Rolex watch, changing the dial and sending it out as a Rolex watch, than buying an ETA movement, changing the rotor and then sending it out as still an ETA movement. Those two cases are identical. You are buying a product, changing it, but then sending it out potentially with the same name that it came in on, relying on the trademark of the company that built the original and leaning on that for the product that you're now selling. The funny thing is, we desperately want, well, I don't care. And in fact, I kind of like the idea of relabeling those movements. But many in the community are really negative about it. They really hate companies that buy in a third-party movement, modify it, relabel it, and send it out with a new label. In a sense, I like this judgment because it vindicates my feeling all along that far from being dishonest, it's in fact the other way around. For you to buy an ETA movement, change it, and then pretend you didn't is a lie. To buy an ETA movement, and then test it, take it apart, regulate it, add new bits, and then pretend it's still an ETA movement in your advertising is a lie. And rather than be celebrated as transparency, it should be shunned, shamed, and frowned upon as fraud, because it's no longer an ETA movement or a Selena movement or a Soprod movement. It's now whatever you turned it into. And the only way of marking that is to give it your own number. And I consistently am astounded that people in the community seem to want to be lied to by watch manufacturers. And I must admit, I kind of welcome the judgment that Rolex received here. Not because I particularly love Rolex, but because I think it's just correct. It's the right answer. As I said, everyone likes to be vindicated, and I think it completely supports my argument over there in the watch movement space. I'm curious about you guys. Do you disagree with me? Do you think that that you should, a company that does modify a product should still send it out pretending it was the original product? I notice the way I'm sort of spinning that. You guys might disagree completely with that. Feel free. I think, yeah, that's it. That's really my take on this. It's going to be a pretty short video. I'm really just getting it out because the news is out and I've got an opinion on this. So I figured I would get in first. Interested in your thoughts down below. Bye.